Hello, you're welcome to the Supernatural Teenager. My name is Tomi, and today we're going to be talking about another prize of success, which is self discipline. The last time we spoke about diligence as one of the prizes of success, and I'm talking about PRICE. So that's what you need to do, what you need to pay to be able to get the prize. That's PRIZ as in zebra, E, the prize, which is success. So today we're talking about self-discipline. I love the way Cambridge Dictionary puts it. It says self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do things you know you should do, even when you do not want to. I come again. Self-discipline is the ability to make yourself do things you know you should do, even when you do not want to. So you know that you should be doing the right thing. You know that this is what I should be doing at this time, but oh my goodness, you just do not want to. And guess what? That's normal. That's normal. That's how, our body works. You want to be, for example, at the beginning of the year, so many of us set goals on, losing weight and, attaining success in school or in our academics, in our businesses, a career, whatever. But how many of us have really gone back to those goals or are even putting in the work that the goals require? So that's why self-discipline, to be able to attain success, you need self-discipline. You need to be able to put your body under subjection. So let's go into the Bible. What does the Bible think about self-discipline? We're going to be reading 1 Corinthians 9 from verses 24 to the end. So it goes to 27. And then it says, I'll be reading New Living Translation, that's NLT. Don't you realize that in a race everyone runs, but only one person gets the prize? So, run to win. All athletes are disciplined in their training. They do it to win a prize that will fade away, but we do it for an eternal prize. So I run with purpose in every step. I am not just shadowboxing. I discipline my body like an athlete, training it to do what it should. Otherwise, I fear that after preaching to others, I myself might be disqualified. And that was Apostle Paul talking to the Corinthians. And guess what? He used athletes. So we're going to be talking about athletes. So, but before then, see what he says. He says he disciplines his body. Guys, friends, folks, your body, first of all, your flesh always tends towards the earth. That's normal. Your flesh wants to relax. Your flesh just wants to sit down and, take burger or, take Coke or, all of those drinks, Kool-Aid and all of those fizzy drinks. Just wants to relax, wants to, play Roblox, wants to just scroll down the phone and just, watch YouTube shorts or TikTok shorts, whatever it is, what kind of short. There's so many I can't even keep up. That's what you feel like doing. But for anyone who wants to attain success, you have to put your body under subjection. Now, so what really is self-discipline about? We'll come back to the athletes. Self-discipline there are things you need to do to make you self-disciplined. First of all, you need to sit down and then set your goals. And when it comes to goals, your goals has to be SMART. So SMART, that's specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. You need to set specific goals. So Don't be ambiguous. Don't say, I want to be successful or I want to attain excellence. No. Make sure your goals are clear. I want to attain, or I want to have 85% in mathematics by, put a time to it, maybe by the first test or something. So specific says, you can say that I'm not saying I want to be excellent. That's ambiguous. I want to have 85% or 95% in mathematics. So that is specific. Measurable, you can measure because of the 85. You know that 85, 95, 100, whatever your goal is, you can measure it. So once you get the grade, you know that, okay, yes, 85. Achievable, something you can achieve. Don't, set a goal like, I want to buy a Ferrari as a 12-year-old, or I want to buy a Ferrari as a 15-year-old or something. No, something you can achieve. So let it be within your sphere. What's the other one? Realistic. Relevant. Sometimes it could be realistic, other times it could be relevant. So realistic. That is you outlining what results you can feasibly achieve using resources that are available to you. Okay, so what are those things? For example, you have resources in fact, for a student, I feel like you're achievable and realistic, you could merge it together, because you should not be limited, even though you do not have resources. For example, you don't have textbooks, or you don't have internet or something. You could always walk around those. You could get from someone. There's so many ways you can walk around it. That's for, I don't believe you should limit yourself because you have less resources than you should. The internet is there to help us. If you do not understand what you're being taught in class, you can go on YouTube and check out resources. There's so many free resources that can help your studies. So many. So, and the last one is time bound. So I said maybe by first test, maybe by November or by, March. Just make sure that you set a time for your goals. So SMART, it has to be specific. You must be achieving a particular thing. It has to be measurable, like the 95%. It has to be achievable. Set it for the kind of goals that is around the phase of life you're in. Relevant or realistic. Let it be relevant to what you're working towards, and don't be limited by resources. And then time bound. Set a time to achieve it. Now, so when you set clear goals, the next thing is to achieve those goals, you have to break it down into tasks. So set a plan of action. Okay, so I want to attain 85% in mathematics. Okay, so what do? I'll put in 90 minutes of practice every day, or I'll put in 2 hours of practice every day. Like I always tell students, if you are able to go through what you've been taught in a day, so if you, for example, you were in school today and you learned algebra, and then before you go to bed, you go through algebra, you are going to be an above average student. If you're able to go through whatever it is you've been taught in a day, you go through it that day before going to bed, you're going to be an above average student. But guess what? If you're going to be an exceptional student, which is our goal, because we're not made for average or just above average, then you should be aiming to not stop at what you were taught. Check out what you're going to be taught the next day and go over it also. It might not be in detail. Have an idea of what it is, so that in class, you already have a foundation. Your tutor, your instructor, your teacher will now be adding to the foundation. That would make, if you can do that on a consistent basis, go through everything you've been taught in the day and then go through what you will be taught the next day, that will make you exceptional. So back to what we're saying. You set your clear goals, set a plan of action. For a student, you could call it a routine. So maybe between 7 p.m. and maybe 10 p.m., I'm going to study. You need to put those things down. And then you need to be focused. That's one of the things that has to do with self-discipline. You have to be focused. At that time that you have set, between 7 to 10, you see that, maybe a friend is calling you or somebody is chatting you, or, you just feel like watching TV, or you just feel like relaxing. You have to stay focused. You always have to. That's why your goal, write it and paste it near your bedside. Let it be something you see every time you wake up, so that it pushes you. Stay focused. You have to stand up and tell your body, no, get up. If you need to take a bath or something to calm you down, to relax you so that you can start to work or start to study, you have to do that. Stay focused. And then the last one we're going to be talking about is you can find an accountability partner. So if you have somebody maybe in your class that, is as focused or knows where they're going also, then you could work together. You could even create, maybe Google meetings for your study. So both of you will be in the meeting room and you're studying. If you have questions, ask each other. That works a lot to put you on the path. So you remember Apostle Paul was talking about the athletes. So we're going to talk about the athletes. I was privileged to watch some movies about some athletes, working for, it was a marathon. I think it was Tyson's Run and Overcomer. Oh my God, you do not want to know what goes down towards becoming the, big names that we know in all the Simone Biles and all of those names. They put in a lot of work. Their body does not want to do that work, but they know they have to get it down. A lot of practice, trying to break records. They keep doing it again and again, trying to see if they can get that thing down. You need to make sure that you're putting your body under subjection. Anybody who will win, remember the Bible says, so run to win. Don't just run a race just for a statistic. So 1 million people did SAT this year. Don't just run a race like that. Run to win. That's who God has made you to be. He has placed you. Your city set on a hill. So that should always be your focus. And to be able to get to that, place, you need to be diligent and you need to be self-disciplined. So tell yourself, no, this is not the time to watch shots. This is not the time to play a game. This is the time to put in the work to ensure that I'm able to attain my place in destiny. God has great plans for you. Guess what? God has great plans for us all. But are all of us living in the reality of those plans? What will set you apart are the prices you're willing to pay to be able to attain that prize of greatness or the prize of success. So I encourage you today, put your body under subjection. Discipline your body and tell yourself, by the time I attain this feat, I can play all the games I want. You can set a routine. So it doesn't mean that you would not play game. If it relaxes you, set a routine, just maybe 10 minutes or 30 minutes of game. But your goals should always be your focus. And with discipline, you can attain it. The Lord bless His word in your life in Jesus' name. Thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow, we'll do the third one. Have a great one.